I will start to prepare to connect with the collective consciousness. I'll be quiet until that connection has happened. So the connection is starting actually quite quickly, which is surprising for me as well. And this is new for me too. So I will explain everything that I'm receiving to you as well. First of all, I put the intention to connect with the collective consciousness of the group, and I didn't quite know what was going to happen or what was I going to see. I know, or I thought to know, that such a thing like a collective consciousness of humans being together in a group exists. And as I'm connecting to it, the first thing that I notice is that this particular collective consciousness of this group is still forming. So it is still quite young. And that's actually not that surprising, as we have only just met as a group. It's actually quite beautiful because I get this energy of, I can literally see something like a young plant that is quite rapidly actually evolving and taking form and manifesting, starting to become alive, basically. With this energy of, let's see if I can find the right human words for that, because a teenager is not the right word, but it is the energy of a teenager, but a teenager that is super happy and excited about life ahead. So that's what's forming, and I let it form because it needs to mature a little bit before we can communicate properly. I have put the intention, so I see the visual of us in a round circle. And I'm going to start and see if I can get more or less who is where you are placed, just so I get an idea of what we have. Okay. Okay. So I'll go back to our collective consciousness and see what is there for us tonight, if it is ready to communicate to us. It is ready, yes. So that young energy has now very quickly evolved in something that I would describe like a genie. So this is always, my brain needs to translate the frequency that I'm receiving, and that's my world, my words, my images that I have. So sometimes when something comes through, like I'm saying, the energy looks like a genie, that's just my interpretation. So take whatever you feel you resonate with and translate that in your own visuals, in your own language, all right? So this genie has become quite powerful, quite grounded as well. I witness, I was going to say him or it, like just in front of me, a little up, not in a human form, more like, yeah, like a genie, like a bottle spirit. So what I would like to know from that collective consciousness first is where we are at as a group and how that is related to everything that's happening in the world, and what is for the highest good for the group tonight. So obviously, for me, a lot of the things sometimes sound a bit like a cliche, but I have to say them anyway. The communication as it started, the first thing that it says is that, of course, we are all at very different points in our evolution, in our lives, and in our frequency. That's the first thing that is pointing out. So we have a very good mix here of different soul frequencies. there is a lot of support. So what's happening on the energetic level when we are in a group like that, even if we don't interact with each other, is that as the energies are connecting, some of the more denser energies are benefiting from some of the more lighter energies, in a way that some of the dense energy usually means some kind of thought forms, traumas, emotions, or it can also be just from our environment where we are at, what is happening around us. Just an example, I'm getting an image of someone who, for example, lives in a building close to a hospital and is at this moment hearing maybe the sirens, is influenced by that energy around that person, no matter how evolved, how spiritual, how beautiful, how healed you are. We are all influenced by our environment. So this can also create a denser energy in your energy field. And just by being in a field with people that are holding a lighter frequency at that moment, that denser frequency of yours can lighten up. So this is some of the things that rationally, scientifically make zero sense. And I'm just getting this, okay, yes, I will say that. I'm just getting to compare it again with plants. Of course, I'm very connected to my garden, so a lot of the images are coming through the plants and nature. I'm not sure if some of you have heard of it, but there is a lot of science now going on where we can prove that plants influence each other on a level that we couldn't explore or prove before because it's electromagnetic. For example, not so long ago, I read an article about how tomato plants, we can now measure that, are communicating with each other when someone is starting to pick tomatoes from a plant or break off, the leaves that are growing between that we kind of want to get rid of so they grow more tomatoes. That tomato plant can electromagnetically communicate to all the other plants near it and warn them of what is happening. And the same research has been done with trees, for example, as well, that they're communicating with each other. And it's an unseen field, but it is there. And the same is happening for us as humans. We just haven't done that research yet, have we? But it's the exact same thing. So energetically, without saying a single word, we are all influencing each other and we can benefit from each other's presence. Our genie is so far quite happy with my translations. Right. He is pointing out to some of the denser energies in the group, and he is asking for all of us now to do a little bit of work as we become aware how much we are healing each other without having to do anything, but just being ourselves. So he's suggesting it, or he is suggesting to each and every one of us now, take a couple of deep breaths and connect with your purest light. Now, this can mean different things to different people. He's pointing, some people will connect to the crown, to the third eyes, other it's the heart. He's showing me these 3 points. So whatever resonates with you, just put the intention with the next breath, I'm connecting to my purest light. And then just know that that is what you are doing. Nothing needs to happen. You might feel something, you might not. Just put the intention, I'm going to be quiet, I'll let you do that. I'm connecting to my purest light. And then you breathe. And then, like as if your purest light was an odor that you can control, like the plant can control its odor that attracts bees and that lets everybody know what kind of plant it is. A rose smells very different to a lettuce. Just visualize, feel as if you can emanate that odor, that smell, but in a positive way of yours quite easily. So your purest light is shining out without you doing anything. Just stay with that for a minute or so. Any of the thoughts that are coming in, just focus them on observing the purest light that you are and have. Tell the thoughts to observe. We can analyze it later. Just keep that energy. And with that, our genie wants to talk about community tonight and connection. And if it helps, you can also visualize that we're all sitting in a circle. And he's pointing out how important it is for humans, for us, to recognize again how safe we are in community. He's now showing me all the horrible images of war, and in French we say méfiant, how much we mistrust each other, and how unnatural that is, and how our nervous system is not adapted to deal with thinking that every other human being could hurt us. It is under constant stress. What is natural to us is to be connected within the community, and that is creating safety. And he's saying it is from that point of feeling safe within a community that healing can happen, and only then can healing happen. Not only when you are in a community, but only when you feel safe. I'm going to ask him why in a community. Again, he goes back to, it is the most natural state for humans to not be alone, to not be isolated, to not fight alone, to not be, and now he's going, to not be only in couples of two and your own family, like your kids and your partner and your grandmother. He's like, that is not natural. That's something we have created. It is natural for humans to be in a wider community and to feeling connected to these people and feeling protected because we are connected, hence feeling safe. And I would like you to just see how that resonates with you, and see if you can visualize a wider community that you already have, or feel it now. This right now is a community. We don't need to know each other more, but we have that same intention to all be here present right now. That itself is enough to create this connection. See if you can recognize that feeling of safety within you and what it does to your breathing, to your thoughts, to your body. Now, for some of us, it might be quite challenging to feel safe and connected with so-called strangers, or even to think about the community that you have. Allow those feelings to just be there, knowing that they're not your fault, but they're no one else's fault either. It's just one step in your journey, and knowing that you are walking a path towards safety, towards feeling safe and connected. And don't worry if that's not what you feel right now, but just to anchor that idea, that intention, that frequency of I am here on earth with a community. Some people call it a tribe. I'm not alone. And I'm safe. I'm protected within that. There is something really important happening to our nervous system when we do that. Take another couple deep breaths. Just stay with what comes up for you. Oh, okay. He now he shows me, and this is the image I need to translate to you guys. To imagine that we're all taking our hands. Now we're back in kindergarten. We're actually taking each other's hands as we're making a circle. So visualize that. And know that you're held on your left and on your right. I just naturally just put my hands out as I saw this image and translated it to you. So you can do that as well. The three of you that are together, maybe you even want to take your hands. And the next thing that he says is, while you are in that circle, everybody's holding each other's hands. He's like, and just sink into that feeling, surrender to the thought or idea that you are perfect the way you are. Again, I know it sounds like a cliche, but this is actually super, super deep stuff. So just repeat that for yourself. See how that resonates. And if you can connect with that universal truth, I am perfect the way I am. Beautiful. You can stay in that circle. I'm going to describe what our genie is doing for us. As we are strengthening this circle, he is creating some sort of vortex, some sort of whirlwind in the middle of us. I'm not quite sure what he's doing, but it feels like he's activating energy and it is spreading to all of us, and it can only happen because we are holding each other. And he is connecting this, what is happening here, with the outer worlds. So this seems to be significant. And I'm not going to ask more questions. You can ask that later to me if you want. I just want it to happen. He's laughing at me now. He says to me that before the session, when I created this event, I did have the intention that this may raise the frequency for each individual in a way that is beneficial for each and every single one of us, because with higher frequencies, there is less drama for each of us. There, it's easier to heal, it's easier to connect, it's easier to shine and to be. And in a way, yes, so a higher frequency is like just a different tone of an instrument, but it's as if we are here to play the higher tones, because we've been playing the lower ones for a long, long time, for many lifetimes, for many centuries, and we kind of know how they sound. So he's laughing at me, our genie, our collective consciousness. He's like, well, Sonia, you put that intention. So that's what we're doing now. Okay. Well, thank you for that. So this is the moment I have to be quiet, and I don't know for how long, because I'm just going to observe until I feel that process has come to an end and we can continue. So I'm asking our genie, what is the next step? What is for the highest good for this group, for this channeling, for this collective? And he's giving more transmissions. So I will translate them hopefully as clearly as I can. And I just have to trust, because some of it for me already, what we're doing with holding hands, etc., etc. This is not how I would have planned a session, of course. So the first thing that that he wants to talk about, and I'm sure that must resonate with at least one or two of you. It might not resonate with everyone in the group. Maybe some of you are just holding your light. So just be patient if that's the case, and just know that you're important as you are here. He says that it is crucial that we all wake up to and understand that our single purpose, why we are here, is of utter importance. And it is very important that we only are who we are. He says that this mind thing, this influence from the outside, this wanting to look for who am I? What is my purpose? What can I do? How can I do it better? Seeing other people doing things. Oh, could I just be like her or like him or do this or that? He's like, that is bringing us so far from the simple truth, the natural flow of who we are, and that being in our own frequency, it is so important. And he's like, you humans, of course he's also human, but it's like an energy. He's like, you keep forgetting the humble truth of who you are without anything added to it. No title, no hair color, no nails, no clothes, none of it. No accomplishments. None of it matters. It's who you are. The naked you is the most important you can be. So this is Sonia speaking. This has a lot to do with our self-worth and our self-value, in a way of just in welcoming ourselves back home. And if this resonates with you, and you can feel it, and you might even feel the resistance or the sadness. I feel from some of you, I feel sadness of wanting to be who you are, but just feeling you don't know who you are, or you can't quite get it. And that's okay. See, to feel that sadness as we are speaking about this, or I'm getting also feeling pressure in your belly, or feeling tension of needing to find your purpose, to find who you are. Just be with that. Just recognize it. It's okay, because the surrendering to who you are happens by first acknowledging who you really are. See, the thing is, we can't let go if we don't know what we're letting go of. So if we keep suppressing, for example, just an example, the sadness about not feeling you really are living who you truly are, if we keep suppressing the sadness, it's as if we can't let go of the sadness, because we say the sadness is not there. Every time we suppress it, we deny it. And every time we deny a part of who we are, we can't be who we are. Does that? I hope that makes sense. So just again, now he's like, we're going back to why you are still holding each other's hands. And we started with safety and feeling safe. He's like, only when you feel safe can you allow yourself to also not be perfect. And this awareness of whatever is in the field for you right now is a really big step. And I guess we don't do that often enough in our everyday lives. Even those of you who are maybe meditating regularly or having your spiritual practices, how many times do we really just connect with our humanity and basically allowing the shadows, the density to also be in the field and acknowledge it without getting attached, without blaming us or someone else, just acknowledging like, okay, well, this is me right now. And now he's showing me a funny picture of course, as I'm getting older and the people around me as well, we're getting slowly, we're getting gray hair, right? The hair color is something that is just changing. If you don't dye your hair, the hair color is changing as you're getting older. So he's showing me that image now. He's like, it's that kind of recognition when you look into the mirror and you see gray hair and you go, oh yeah, I am no longer 15 years old or 25 or however old you were when you didn't have any gray hair. 30, 35, I don't know. It's that kind of recognition. And just for a second, just right now, as you are in this powerful state of recognition of who you are, just for a second, give yourself permission to not change it. You can do that later. You can do later something about it. But right now, just be. Just visualize you being held in this group, in this circle, exactly as who you are. There is no judgment, not even from yourself anymore. And I just opened my eyes there for a second to check the time, because time is very valuable. And I'm just going to check in with our genie if there is more to this transmission or if we can open the space for direct questions. He says, it is good for now. Just know that you are all loved. He wants you to feel that. Deeply, deeply loved. From it, so from us, every single one of us actually loves deeply. From the collective, you're deeply loved, and from way beyond. Just feel that. You're deeply, deeply loved. And with that, I will stay connected with our genie. And I invite you to come back a little bit slowly. And if you have questions, please unmute yourselves and ask them. I will not see you. I'll keep my eyes closed, but I will hear you. So just take a couple of deep breaths. Move a little bit your hands, your fingers, your feet. Just coming back. Open your eyes if you had them closed, looking around you. And maybe just for the others, so everybody feels a little more connected. If you are coming back and you ask a question, maybe just put on your camera as well. And of course, if there is no questions, we just stay in that energy, but I'm sure there is questions. We will just stay in that energy for a couple of minutes, and then I will come back as well.
Hey Sonia,
Hi.
are you still connected with the genie?
Yes. I'm still connected. Yes.
Right, so here goes the question for you. What is the easiest way for us to connect or stay connected with the feel or the higher self?
Let me just repeat that. Your question is, what is the easiest way to connect with and to stay connected with the field of the higher self?
With the feel and the higher self.
With the field and the higher self.
So, feel of energy and the higher self.
Field of energy and the higher self. Thank you. First, he's looking at you now. First, it says it is individual. What is the easiest and best way? It's individual. I'm asking to give an individual answer then, or one that at least applies to many people. Okay, yeah, part of this answer I actually knew, but I always want to bring it through me rather than answering from what I know. I'm getting first the image of the heart and the inside of your physical body. So the easiest way is to connect with your body. I know this sounds strange, but the thing is, as souls, we are incarnated in a physical body, right? This is our vessel that is carrying us in a way, or that we are carrying. And to connect with the higher self, we have to go inwards. So rather than thinking we need to go up or out, it's like connect with your heart. Feel your chest area and your heart physically and energetically. So we're talking about the higher self at the moment, huh? And when you have this connection, when you truly feel you truly feel you, that's when you can put the intention to connect with the higher self. And that's when you feel it or recognize it, that you are connected. It's actually inside, not outside. And this is Sonia speaking. I know this is very different from connecting with guides, for example, or when I'm connecting with someone else's higher self. It's very different because that's outside of me. So I'm connecting up or out. But with my own higher self, I know from experience, it's inside I need to connect. Now, to your second question, to connect with the field of energy, would you mind to just unmute yourself and tell me what kind of field of energy you mean? Do you mean the collective as we are now, or what kind of field of energy?
I mean, the collective energy.
Yeah, and like the collective energy of a group, yeah?
Yeah?
Okay. Okay. He says to stay connected in a field like the one that has been created today, or one that you create. This is good. I love this. He says he's okay, yeah, not that quick. He says we can connect, we can create any kind of collective field that we want. First of all, some of us are connected to like star seeds, to other galaxies, or to tribes on this planet that are maybe living far away, or that are like our ancestors that are no longer alive, that no longer exist. And he's like, you can reconnect that field, you can visualize it, you can just put the intention. He's like, visualize always a circle. Make a circle and put in that circle whoever you want to be in the field, and make sure you put yourself in there as well. Not just the tribe, but make sure you visualize yourself in there. For those of you that love to draw or journal, put this on paper, or even have like little figurines, or have stones, crystals. Like if you're connecting to a field that is maybe not like us or your family or your tribe, but that feels more like it's from another galaxy, or it's your star sisters, or even your soul family, and you're not sure if they're incarnated or not, maybe take crystals or take stones that you find outside. You don't need to go buy something. It can also be stones that you find, or shells, and create a little field, create a little circle, and put the meaning. Make sure again you are one of these, and put the meaning of this. This is the collective field that is holding me where I'm safe, where I can show up as who I am, where I am perfect the way I am. So that's the first step. I'm very practical, so I want him to go a little deeper, as in, okay, but now we've created it, so how do we connect and stay connected in it? He says again, that's very individual. There is different ways people like to do that. Some people love to pray, like in front of an altar. That's one way of connecting to the field and staying connected to it. I'm seeing if there's other ways. Pray, he says, meditate, visualize it in your inner eye. If you don't create it as in with like crystals or shells, or don't draw it, but you can also, if you haven't done that, you can also just visualize it in your inner eye. Meditate as in just sit calmly, breathe, visualize the field. And okay, he's like, when you do that, prayer or meditation, there is a connection again with your own energy, like with your own higher self, which is inside. But he's like, there is also something about, he's showing me the sensation of like the skin of like the, it's not even the skin, it's this first layer of energy that is around our body. He's like, it's about feeling yourself first, like really grounded, and then starting to sense just a little out of you, outside, as if you're sensing, you know, when you have your eyes closed, and like, say for example, someone would be sitting close to me now, very close, like not touching me, but you can feel as if they are touching you. It's like that kind of sensation, starting to become aware, so you can expand your ability to connect further. So you have to start to feel that field just outside of your own body, and then you can expand out. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is there any other questions? They can be personal. They can be connected to the transmission we had tonight. They can be sharing about your experience and maybe wanting some clarification on it. Also, I'm looking at the time. We have 3 minutes after the hour. If someone needs to go, please let me know.
Go. Can I just ask something which might not be relevant at all, but when I was connected to the group, I was keep being shown an image, like a French window, and it was something that came up repeatedly. Does it have any special meaning, or is it just an image?
Well, what did you feel when you had the window? What was your translation of it?
So the energy was coming through this window, which I never felt it this way. It was always just coming, and to me, it's usually through my crown chakra. But this time was a window here, like outside, it wasn't.
Internal.
Interesting. Yes. Let me just present that question. Mhm. Well, first of all, our genie is smiling in compassion at the question and at us, at me as well, because I'm obviously, I don't have the answer to you. He says there's different portals that we are opening when we are in a space of connecting in a field to ourselves, to the guide, and obviously a window is like a portal. But hang on, there's more to it. He shows me a fresh wind in the window as well. It's as if the interpretation that I'm getting from what he's showing me is as if this what has been happening for you has opened or expanded part of your awareness, like as if you've opened a door for yourself to allow yourself to see or understand or feel more. And it feels quite refreshing, like that's the fresh wind. Is that resonate at all? Does that make sense with your experience?
Yes, it does.
Would you like to know more, or is that enough?
If there's anything more that he can tell, yes, but I got the essence of. So if the genie thinks that I needed to dumb down a bit more for my human mind to comprehend it, I'm I'm all open for it. But I think I got the essence of what.
Okay, yeah. It's a feeling, right? So for you, they're really like that portal, the window portal that has opened for you, that you kept seeing. For me, what he's translating into my body is really as almost like as if you had maybe, like, this is my interpretation, as if you maybe had a stuck belief or like a stubborn thought that you weren't quite able to let go of, that somehow tonight has evaporated or has not had as much power or weight. Can you see or find that, what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yes, okay.
yes.
So just stay with that. It really feels beautiful
Mm,
and lightening, like when we can let go of something, I say stubborn, it's actually quite fresh and it's quite light and it's kind of letting go of a weight almost without any effort. And that's really beautiful. Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you so much for your questions. Is there any other questions from everyone in the group?
About your healing energy.
What about
So if there is any other question, I invite you to ask it now, otherwise I will slowly come back. Yeah.
Can I use this to connect myself to my art, to be more expressive and productive?
When you say, can I use this? What do you mean?
Uh, sorry. So, like I've just connected to the group,
Mm-hmm.
and can I connect to, I'm quite new at all this, connection to be a bit more expressive. I don't even know whether what I'm saying makes sense.
Yeah, I think I'm getting where you're at there. Let me just present that and see what's coming through. So the answer is yes. Expansion of your field is giving you more creativity, as if you might sometimes feel a little isolated or a little, I don't want to say alone, but like focused on your own energy maybe. And the answer is yes, like connecting with an expanded field of consciousness is giving you more space and hence more creativity. Like there is more coming through from different corners of the world and the universe, rather than just from your own inspiration, which is already very powerful, but it feels more expansive. Does that make sense? Did that answer more or less in which direction you were going?
Have you been watching me? Because yes, I've been feeling very isolated and very alone with it all,
Okay.
and stuck artistically, and very interesting to hear that picking up on others' energies to give me more kind of connection.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And thank you for being in the space. Very good. I'm very aware of the time. Is there any other questions, or shall I slowly come back?
I just have one last question, if I might.
Yes, please.
It's regarding the dense energy we can be living by. What's the easiest way of daily protection if we're like highly sensitive persons and we live by a dense place like a hospital, like you picked that up?
Yes. Let me just present that question.
Okay, thank you.
So it is showing me immediately an image of, now I'm not quite happy with that answer, so we're going to go deeper. But I'm immediately presented with an image of when you're highly sensitive and you're even aware of the outside influences. Your daily practice is to connect with the light within. And this is as important as brushing your teeth. I just want to ask how to connect with the light, because that's great in our heads, but how do we do it? He says again, it's individual, and that there is different practical tools. Not, again, we cannot always only think spiritual and energetically. We are in a human physical body. So he's like, some of the exercises, that can be very individual, can be going out in nature, it can be swimming, it can be walking your dog, it can be doing some exercise for people that love to work out. He's like, anything that is moving your physical body is moving the energy as well. And sometimes it's as if that is needed for the first shift. And only after you've done like an activity, or maybe during the activity, you go into the activity with the intention, by the way, to connect with your light. And only when you move it physically, you can then connect with it energetically. So when you're aware of a denser energy or a darker energy, and you're aware of outside influences, the moment you become aware of it, either make it into your agenda. If you can't get up in that moment immediately, make yourself a date when you are going to take action, and you choose any of the activities, and maybe you're going to do a couple until you find one that really works for you. And maybe one works one day and then next week it's another one, but find an activity that physically moves you, okay? And go into it with the sole intention to connect with your light. All right, so if you work out, you go to that workout with the intention to move the energy by physically moving your body to then connect with your light. And as you are in that physical exercise, there will be a moment where you're like, oh, now You can either feel it or it just comes to you and you're like, now I'm connecting. And then you take a couple of deep breaths, and it's always the intention that does the trick. With the intention, we manifest and create. So then you take again your intentions, like, now I'm connecting with my light. And this is an important thing. Don't always ask or wait for a sign. Sometimes you just need to trust that it is happening. And I had to do that in my own past many, many, many times, to just trust, especially in the regression training. Just trust it is happening. I am connecting. And after a while, the conscious mind starts to then recognize and feel what I would want to have felt from the very beginning. But at the beginning, we can't really feel it yet, that we are connected to the light. So we just have to use the intention and then just trust. Do it over and over again until that's programmed into you. And then you're open to actually feel it, that you are actually connected. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm just thanking the collective consciousness that has guided us tonight. The energy that we have created is individual to each of you. As we are leaving this space, we are also leaving the collective. I'm careful of how I'm trying to explain this. It's not like we have created now a connection that stays and that, we're influencing each other even if we don't want it. It is literally, there is the possibility to connect with a collective field, and it is your own responsibility and it is your own energy that is creating that connection. I hope I made this clear. Otherwise, please ask me afterwards. But I'm inviting you all now to come back. I will come back as well. And I thank you, and I thank our genie, our collective consciousness, for all my gratitude for the guidance today.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I am going to make this 1.5 hours the next time, because I see 1 hour is not long enough. For those of you that would like to or need to go, I will wave goodbye. For those that want to stay another 5 to 10 minutes, you are welcome to ask me questions as I'm back. Or maybe just share your experience, how it was for you. It means a lot to me to get some feedback, but also feel free to just wave goodbye and leave if you feel that's your time.
So I thought it was really wonderful, Sonia. I found myself, I fell asleep at one point. I know that, I have to admit. But sometimes I think we're getting what we need in our sleep as well. So, but thank you. It's a wonderful thing that you're starting, and I think it's. I'd like to join again. If you.
Thank you, Jenny. And it's very touching that you felt safe enough to fall asleep. I mean, that's beautiful. That's what you needed, and I mean, yes, that's actually quite.
Well, I don't know how long it was. It was just that I have to admit I dropped in and then I came out, and yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. You can't believe how many times that has happened to me when I'm joining group channelings or meditations as a participant. I'm the first one to leave to relax.
You got me so relaxed, yes. That I had a good.
Thank you for sharing.
But you set the intention to gain what you need to gain out of it. So that was, the intention that we set ourselves is the most important.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Thank you. By the way, I will just stop the recording. I'm not going to share that anywhere.